Hey, buddy, yo, eyes up here, eyes up here. Ugh. Hey, I'm Joel Eiffel, the Tube Dude. Today we're going to talk about orbital welding collets, the different styles, and why you pick one over the other. I'm standing back up again. That's a little hard to do. So I just picked a random weld head here today. We're looking at the 82000 weld head from Arc Machines, also known as AMI. And this is our standard weld head for the AMI 82000. This is basically near perfect replica or aftermarket replacement for the standard stock weld heads. It's made out of stainless steel, and it has this lip surface on it to get a little bit more grip and help out with squareness here or getting things lined up. Also, it has these EDM cuts, kind of hard to see. Whoa. It has these EDM cuts right here. These are used to give a little bit of compliance, a little bit of give if the tubes aren't perfectly round. So this is the great all-rounder. When most people think of orbital welding, they think of these standard collets. They don't realize there's other styles of collets too that can often solve problems you can't do with the standard collets. The standard collets are great, but they can't solve every challenge. So let's look at offset short perch collets. Wow, that's a lot to say. Very easy concept though. They are short perch, which means they have a shorter gripping area, and they are offset. So they're actually biased to one side's flat, the other side is offset. This is what points outwards. This side is pointing in towards the weld head. Now, why would we do this? Starting with the short perch, if you're trying to weld really close to, say, fittings or bends, things of that nature, maybe the standard collet, it's just too thick, it won't get in there. And it's kind of hard to see here, but it is substantially thicker. This is less than half the thickness. So you would go to a short perch collet to give you a little bit less grip area, but a little bit more clearance. Next, you have the offset. This is to get as close as possible to that weld, so you have the most amount of clearance. This is kind of belt and suspenders. So this is what we call an offset collet, combined here with a short perch. These are great, again, if you have bad clearance, if you want to be kind of as close as possible to the weld zone. The offset, or what you're trading from that, is that they're not going to last as long, and with less gripping area, less gripping strength, might not hold as well, and also they don't have that aligning feature over here, so they're not going to do as great of a job. But where these are needed, these are great. If you're just welding straight tube, we don't recommend them. We say stick with standard collets. But that's not it. You can go the other direction here, and here we have full length or full thickness collets. These go the opposite direction of standard collets. They are even thicker to give you even more purchase, even more area. You can line that to the camera here. Yeah, there you go. They're going to give you even more thickness here to clamp on, to give you a better bond. Also, these ones are made out of aluminum. Stock ones are made out of stainless steel. This customer was doing very, very high volume. They said, hey, our welders are getting burned. These collets are getting really hot for running these weld heads. If we go to aluminum, they cool off faster, but they're going to wear out faster. Let's go to something that's even fuller thickness to get back some of that strength, some of that durability. So that is a full-length collet, and these are just some of the styles here for one weld head, and all of these are custom. A lot of times you'll have some unique challenge saying, hey, we're not quite getting what we want, we're having issues, give us a call. We can look through the different options or make custom collets just for your application, and it's not even a big difference in price. And I also want to say, this is not just for welding, orbital welding, we also do it for facing collets as well. This is a Tri-Tool 302 facing collet, and it's a short perch offset collet. So same exact concept. You machined out this area. For this customer, they had a bend coming out right after the trim line here. They wanted to trim up very, very close to the bend. They couldn't do it with standard collets, which are much, much thicker. They are this thickness. So they went to an offset collet. They call us up, said, could we do it? We said, of course. And like I said, it's not much difference in price. We're milling out this front face of standard collets. We could turn these around in a couple days to a couple weeks. And have a custom solution for a customer. We don't generally charge for the engineering because we're going to go sell them on for other people who are going to want them in the future. But wait, there's more. I also wanted to point out cassettes. These are for the AMI 9500, a very popular style of cassette or collets for these smaller weld heads. And these, again, are the standard collets. They usually be machined out of one piece. And then you have your front gates on here that do your clamping. But there's another style here, and again, these are the great all-around ones. If you have your standard uses, this is the collet you're going to use for a 9500. This is the cassette you use for the 9500. But we have a different style. We have what's called the TCA, UCA, MCA, these modular clamping assemblies. And what this does is you have these custom blocks that can bolt on to either side of the collet, and it lets you mix and match. So why would you do this? So for this particular application, it's for micro fittings. So here we have it, a little micro fitting in here that can be arranged in different orientations. This customer is doing micro fitting assemblies, and to try to do that alignment through other, tack tools or fixtures was really difficult. But by putting this custom block on here, well, now they can do micro fittings, and then they'll put a different size collet on the back for whatever size tube or fitting or tier branch they're putting on this side. So these MCA collets, they give you a lot of optionality. Instead of having to buy a whole new collet or ask for a collet that's, 1/4 inch on one side, 3/8 on the other, you can just buy these little blocks that are much more cost effective and can be swapped out. And we'll do custom ones for different fittings. If you're doing the same fitting over and over, but you're having, tape off one side or try to, machine out or grind out a collet for yourself, give us a call. There's probably an option like the MCA system, UCA system of getting custom blocks made that bolt onto different sides so you can get a mix and match approach and you can do different sizes on either side of a cassette. So in conclusion, I just want to say there are a lot of different approaches, a lot of different collet styles in orbital welding and in facing over here. Don't be shy to give us a call or kind of think outside the box. If you're saying, oh, I can't weld that because it's too close to a bend or it's too close to a fitting or the fitting or tube is different on one side than the other, probably actually doable. Give us a call. We can walk you through the options and find a collet that will work for your applications. I'm Joel Eiffel, the Tube Dude. This is an awkward angle, but thank you for listening. Bye, guys.